Okay, so today we're all talking about how to build that passive income that works for you. And now that we're at the beginning of a new financial year, this is a pretty important topic to cover over again. Okay, so just a bit of housekeeping. I want to, say good morning to you, Selena.
Hey everyone.
Hey, hey, and Paulina.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hey, hey. And Paulina, thank you so much for that office operations administrator that you helped me hire recently.
No, you thank you.
She, she's she's a gun. I have so many high hopes for her. Hey, good to have you here, Mino. See you again. Hey, Raul. It's a good morning to you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon. And Danny, good morning to
Hi,
you too.
everyone. Good morning,
Yeah.
good afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah. Here's still the last financial year for you.
Yeah, we're in a new year now. And Chris, good to have you here as well.
Hello everyone.
Oh, you were in this six squares and then you popped down there. I wonder if you can drag you back up. Yes, I can. I feel safer now. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about building that passive income, and really where it begins is starting with the end in mind. Now, every year what we suggest is that in your Wise Hub that you take the scorecard found in your Wise Hub once a year. Okay, so if you go to, if you, I mean, you sure you can work alongside today as well to check it out. But doing your scorecard once a year really allows you to assess just what areas do you still need to work on. Now, it's all well and good if you're already achieving your ideal income, but ask yourself the question, how withdrawn are you? Okay, how withdrawn are you actually from the business? There are people running 4 or 5 or $10 million accounting firms, and they are stuck in it deep every single day. There are people running a $500,000 or $1 million accounting firm or $3 million accounting firm, and they have their executives and leaders in place. They have deep and narrow teams in place, and they're really able to step back and focus on what strategies are we going to be implementing and researching this year? How can I spend my time actually working on the business? And the experience is so different. The former feels like you're so busy, you're kind of dreading the start of the new financial year. You're probably on a holiday. You probably time your holidays for when the financial year ends just to be able to reset. Whereas the former, every day feels like going into your backyard and tending to your garden. It feels like a completely different experience. So, on the topic of passive income, and the key word here being passive, we want it to feel like that garden. We want it to feel like we are tending to a garden. You can't force a garden to grow, okay? But if you're working in your business and you're another cog in it, then you feel like, well, if I turn the wheels faster, maybe we can grow more. So the first action item that I want everyone here to take away today is in your calendar, sometime this month, find an hour for you to do your discovery scorecard again. And then compare it to your last year's scorecard and see where the differences are. What divisions were you more withdrawn from? What areas are you more confident in now? And how does your life look overall? It isn't just about working on your career and then producing income. How are you in terms of your health? How are you in terms of your relationships? How much did you sacrifice in order to be able to get your business to grow so far? And I've mentioned it in the past, you have to really think when you do actually achieve your goals, when you do actually achieve your passive income goals, will you actually have the health to enjoy it? Will you have the people around you to actually enjoy it with? Or maybe that doesn't matter to you, in which case your needs are very low, which I guess is fine, but you really want to aim for balance. Okay, so the first question that I want to throw out there to everyone is what has been your biggest challenge in withdrawing from your company in the fiscal year or financial year 25? Okay, so maybe have a moment to think about it, and then I'm going to go around the room and we'll all share something about, what was the most challenging thing you faced last year in actually trying to withdraw from your firm? And I will share as well. Okay. So, and you know
Happy to
what?
go. I don't need to think about it. It was emails.
Go ahead, Aaron. Let's elaborate on that.
Yeah, so trying to cut back on emails is, I know that's like one of the basic admin things, but it is just the most invasive time sucker that we have, I believe.
And yeah, what type of emails did you find that really sucked up your time?
It's a combination. There's probably some from clients. A lot of client ones I'm trying to encourage they talk to other people because it means they'll get answered much quicker. But then I think we also have quite a lot of internal emails that happen in the firm as well, which I'm trying to encourage people to get up and walk around instead of send emails because we're all in the same office together. So, but I think it's more just the fact that you have some emails that you don't get to in a day. So you try and make sure that you do those first thing the next morning, but then never happens. So you end up getting to the end of the day and you're like, still got emails from the day before or the day before that. Or yeah, so I think it's just a constant, ever present reminder that you don't have enough time in the day.
Yeah, and I guess an interesting thing there is that there are so many different categories of email that you're receiving that's holding you back from withdrawing from your firm. And and then you did do an honest attempt at trying to delegate it to your team because you're hoping that they would be able to get to it faster. And where did you find that not working?
I think it's more from the client's perspective because I stopped doing personal tax returns for clients a couple of years ago, but we still have people ring up and say, "Oh, I did my tax return with Aaron last year," and I'm like, "Oh, no, you didn't. I didn't do any last year." So the client just automatically associates coming here with me, and I think that's where the hardest thing is trying to teach the client that no, it's not just me. There's a whole team behind me that can help you just as much, if not more than I can for the most part. So
Yeah, that's that client education. We can't help it, right? As clients, even ourselves, we would prefer to talk to the owner. We feel like they're the most knowledgeable person, that they've got all the answers. And that is one of the biggest roadblocks to being able to withdraw from the firms, the clients, as
yeah.
well as the team. And so, going into financial year 26, is that something that you're going to be making your priority? Do you find that that's the one thing that's in your way in being able to withdraw from your firm, or at least like a
It's
major thing?
yeah, it's definitely not the one thing, but it would be a huge help in starting to shift from focusing more on the business. Definitely.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So thanks, Aaron, for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I want to go around the room and collect a few more because I feel like there is, once we all share, we will see a pattern amongst all of us. And you also find that you're not alone, okay? Emails and clients wanting to talk to you, the team talking through emails, and just, it's not even emails, just the fact that they involve you is something we all share. Okay, so thank you, Aaron. Who would like to go next? Or I'll get the name wheel spinner out.
Okay.
Nice, Karen, get in there.
My biggest thing is I'm still trying to pull out of production. It's getting the right people in the right seat. Danny's helping us with that at the moment. But getting those systems in place and that to be able to pull out of that, I also find I'm bogged down with emails as well. It can, if I let it, it can take me all day. But I can't get to production, so I know that's got to be my goal this year. I'm not doing another tax return. I just can't. I haven't got the time to do that. So yeah, I've really tried this year, but we just don't have enough people. It's the people thing.
It's definitely the people, and it's really interesting you say how like you don't even have time to get to the production, and that's also one of the areas people try to get out of. What do you find because communication is honestly one of the most difficult ones to withdraw from, because at least with production, we can create a process, we can create workflows, right? With communication, we can try standardize it, we can try write scripts and templates, but it is really so dynamic. And it's hard to trust the team to be able to communicate with the client to the level that you're satisfied with. What sort of emails are you finding that you're receiving require, your attention there and stopping
A
you?
lot of client emails, they do all come to me. And I really don't have the right team to be able to push those down to yet. So I think my plan is I'm going to have to keep on with that until we build the team. So concentrate on getting those answered. Just like Aaron said, I find I get to the end of the day and I still haven't done X, Y, and Z, and I've still got emails to answer. And yeah, you either stay late or you say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going home, and they just sit there and they build up, and then you have clients remind you, oh, did you get my email? And it just feels like really bad service, and it's all because I'm busy and the team aren't. Yeah.
What sort of client emails are you receiving? Are they related to an ongoing job? Are clients asking, like, what are you finding
Oh,
coming
look, it
your
can
way?
be anything. My latest one that I got on Friday was an ex-employee of a client who is saying they haven't been paid right. So it's been a full job investigation to work out whether they're correct or the client's correct, and build something that the client can work with to work all that out. So before you know it, one email's taken one email question has turned into a job.
And I mean, on the bright side, is that something that you're billing and engaging for?
Oh yeah. Probably don't engage for it, but I certainly charge for it. Yeah, I call that out of scope work. Yeah, they know
Nice.
they're paying.
Excellent, excellent. And where do you find that challenge? Is it like looking at that initial email and thinking, what am I supposed like, what do we do? What are we dealing with here? Can you elaborate? Can you elaborate? Can you give me a few more questions? Is that what you're thinking when you're looking at those client emails that's taking you the most time to
Well,
process?
I'm sure when the client first write it, they think it's a quick solution. But when you kind of go back to them and fact find it's bigger than being here, and I might have 3 of those in a day that blow out to that kind of a job. And then then there's all the little ones where you can answer quite quickly. Or somebody will ask, you know, how do I buy my ute? Do I pay for it or do I finance it? And it's like, now I've got to get my head into that client zone. And gee, I can't remember how they're structured. I've got to go back and have a look, because you can't remember everything about everybody. I think that's the issue.
It's the context switching, right? It's like switching from one email to the other, and then the clients make it look like a simple request. So you feel like, how am I going to turn this into a billable thing when it almost feels like they just want a quick answer? Thanks for sharing that, Karen. I think with the team fleshing out, and so what is your focus and target for financial year or this new financial year, for you to be able to address that?
Well, we're going to take on a new accountant, and I'm going to pull out of production, and focus on service delivery, which I think we've started to well, not deliver to my satisfaction, because we're all over the place. So we're pulling all that into line, and we're also going to be we're scheduling at the moment. So it's going to be very targeted, and compared with what we were doing last year. So yeah, a lot of things on the horizon. So hopefully I can pull it all off, but I need time for that. So production has just got to go.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. Okay, who would like to go next? Surendra, go ahead.
Okay, as for me, I think I just started, so I think I joined the Wize, our Wize group, just a couple of months ago. I'm working on it. It was basically I was working on myself. I was sold, and then I had two staff offshore, but like they were not doing much. But like after I've joined Wize mentoring. I have started. I hired one guy, intermediate accountant, and then also on the process took one from overseas as well, to get an intermediate accountant. I think because we just started, so it takes time for me to polish them up, to the procedure, everything. Hopefully by end of this year, 25, I will be able to move out of this running the business, and then getting involved myself, and think about some other things that I enjoy and I can add value to. That's what it is. I think it takes some time.
That's a really great place to focus on. Ed would often say that when you do what you love or you do what's in your flow, it doesn't feel like work. When you're able to just focus your energy into the things that just come out really easily. And what is that, Surendra? Where do you see yourself in your own company? As a place where you're productive and you feel happy, and that's where you want to just continue to develop yourself.
Yes, like more than like I've been looking looking at ads, all the videos, video from yours, like meeting on your guys. Yeah, definitely. Like if I have to do something, if I have to grow my firm, definitely I have to step out and run it like a business. That's the only way to grow, because if you don't deliver, if you don't get your peoples to get it done, then like you're nowhere. Like you'll be getting you have limited hours. So I think last week I was reading one article somewhere. It says the great people, they they get the people, they get the right people, and then they get them to do the job. That's the thing. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
That's the right way to do. Yeah. Before joining the group, I was like very hesitant to hire the people because
Mhm.
like I had the same situation. I used to think, oh, maybe they will learn from me and go in somewhere else, or they wouldn't be much productive. But then everything, I was even thinking about this year, I will just retract and just do a couple of them just because easily it wouldn't be easy, it wouldn't be difficult to earn around 200K just doing just bits and pieces. But really, if we can make it to 7 million firms, why not? That's the thing. But one quick quiz, one thing, like all I've been going through. So is that like 7 million form that we've been talking about? Is that from one form or like different branches or something like that? How is it?
It's one firm. I mean,
It's
if you call it a firm like the group, you can structure it in so many different ways. You can end up in buying into shit. Like you can often what happens when you're approaching 7 million, you would have senior client managers who continue to want to grow. And they want, yeah, they're the sort of people that you want to keep. Like, oh, you would make a great general manager, or you would make a great chief technical officer. These individuals, in addition to being a senior client manager of a team, they also begin to assume executive responsibilities, and they form your executive team. And with those people, you are able to give them a pathway to buy in to your firm. And there are resources on the Wize Vault that go through this, but from a high level, how it works is you would carve out a set of fees that would go into their team, and they would lead it. They would have to achieve a condition where they grow that team to a certain revenue level. And as Jamie calls it, they have to earn their stripes. They have to show that they can actually grow a team like a business. And then they earn the right to buy in. And how they can do that is by finding another accounting firm and then acquiring it into their team. And then often what happens is that's how they are able to get equity in the part of the firm as well. So you can have it like a branch where you have your head company and you're branching out to many different senior client managers running different locations. Or ideally, I have one American firm. He's doing like 7 million USD now, and his personal income is like $1 million USD after tax. It's nuts, and he's like, it's all mine. Like it's so it depends. Like there are pros and cons to both. Ed's philosophy has always been it's better to own a smaller piece of a larger business than a larger piece of a smaller business. And you kind of just do what's natural. It's a long journey going towards 7 million, and you're going to have many great team members whom you think we need to be by each other's. We need to be working together forever. Okay, so I would like you to have skin in this game and be part of this. So that's just really that's just a matter of the legal entity structure that you set up for it. And at 7 million, where you end up seeing yourself, Surendra, is you essentially coach those other senior client managers. You essentially mentor them. Okay? You mentor them. You help them with the challenges that they're going through. You still get involved in the hiring, and then you get involved in mergers and acquisitions activities. So the most highest level things that you can do for your own business is mentoring your people, hiring and making hiring decisions, and acquisitions. These three things pretty much, you think like you have your foundation in place and now you have so many levels built on top of it. How do you continue to drive it from behind the scenes? And it's really those three activities, which sounds like you're headed there because you're focused on hiring And that's where you'll get to experience, oh, I'm mentoring you now, I'm guiding you. And it's a journey in now learning to become a leader. And as well as hiring and knowing when to fire them. Are they working out? So I think it's a really great goal, Surendra, setting that sight on 7 million and then knowing that in this financial year now, nail that hiring and not being afraid to let that person go if they're not working out and go again. You, the best leaders I work with in the firms I mentor, every board meeting, they have, it sounds bad, but they have new hires and then people that have let go. Right? Like almost every month I'm coming in, they're going, I have three new people and then these two I let go. And they're constantly like filtering the people in their company to ensure that it's just the right people there. I have to say, out of all the qualities I've seen in all the firms I've worked with, that is the one. Like that is the number one thing I've seen as a pattern across all of them. They are very active with the hiring and they take it very personally and they get highly involved in the process. Like I would say the more a business owner is adverse to hiring, that process, like the more that business owner sees it as like an admin thing, the less successful they generally tend to be. Because I think that kind of like speaks to their ability to delegate and then train other people. Like if you delegate and train confidently, you never really see that as an issue. So I think it's good, Surendra. Look, hire well and then really learn to love that process. I love seeing new people. You interview people and you're like, oh, I wonder what you're going to be like. I wonder what you're going to be like in this company. It's exciting.
With I have a great experience with hiring and firing. So basically, I have managed before accounting. I have managed like a 200-300 people team across Australia,
Wow.
New Zealand. So I'm very good with the hiring and firing. I've done that a lot. So if every week I was like hiring around 10 people and like it was like some other business, but and yeah, and also definitely like this guy who came to me, who I hired, I showed that the career, like our career progress chart, and like they were like excited. Wow, that's nice because like even for me, I didn't have much idea about those. Like we had the senior accountant, then all those this. And then like really, I was like surprised to see that. And then when I showed to him, like he was really excited as well because then they know that they were their career path as well, which makes them motivated.
Wow, you have the most important skill you need to grow your business and withdraw from it under your belt now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's,
honestly.
and
Um,
and also like we been like with the marketing side as well. I'm like doing very good. Yeah, like just like yesterday, I had 6 people to on my calendar, and today I got 2. So like there are like already started people to follow. So I need to delegate very fast. We just already planned. It's gonna be very difficult for us to manage the workflow this year. So I grew, I think last year more than 150% last year. So
wow.
and then
Wow.
yeah, so this year gonna be going more. But like I didn't like because I was only myself, so the amount is not much. But like when I put all these procedures that like everything that I've been learning from Wize, if I put it in plan, if I put it into action, definitely yeah, I will be like I think I can do a lot better. That's what I think.
Well, I'm really excited to see your journey, Surendra, this financial year. And we're going to see you. I think when we do this time next year, you'd be on like a team of 8 or more. Well,
Whatever you told us today, I think that was from Wize, from Jamie on weekend Wize tips. It was about hiring as well. That was like that was a really inspiring one. I think the
it
Wize,
is.
yeah, it is because yeah, only 3% graduate, so that's what that what he wrote was nice. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Surendra. Thank you for sharing your journey and your plans for the next financial year. And we're looking really forward to seeing how you evolve. And I love how you're focused on the structure because that's where the withdrawing comes from. Some people hire and then they end up more busy. The structure is what allows us to be in control and free from it. So thank you, Surendra.
Yeah, I like basically I have our that 7-figure on my screen, the Wize Freedom map on my on my so that I keep watching it every day.
What you could do is you could go to your 0 and then like inspect the element and then change the HTML to 7 million and just look at it for a while. Okay, thank you, Surendra. Now, Peter, I'd love to hear from you as well. What challenges did you find in the previous financial year were your greatest in being able to withdraw from your firm? And then what do you have your sights set on in this financial year in order to clear the way for you to be able to withdraw from the firm?
I guess it's like what you said. It's structure, and the practice evolves. My transition to exit. I don't necessarily want to exit, but I certainly want to be in a role where I'm not in production, but more facilitating and driving the business. So the biggest challenge we had last year was, improving systems and processes and doing what we call an internal renovation, IT renovation, getting that structure in place, strong foundation for growth. Dedicated a lot of time for that. Also went overseas for a while, came back. Systems and processes had improved dramatically. And I thought that, profitability might have dropped off this year because, sort of went away, put systems and process, dedicated a lot of time to it. But then, we picked up a lot of efficiencies in the, the time billing and everything else. We didn't lose time. We've managed to capture the time correctly. And I've just done a P&L this morning for last year's financial year, looking at my KPIs. And yeah, we've had a profit increase. So incredible. So I'm pretty amazed. And so going forward, on the back of those strong foundations, then there's just a few more improvements we're going to do, and then we're going to start turning on the marketing tap. We've never turned on the marketing tap where we get organic growth, and then it's about resourcing. So anyway, it's a 5-year plan, a 5-year transition of growth and prosperity. So the $7 million figure. So each year, last year was more about evolving the systems and processes, the structure, getting all the foundations in place. This year, it's about slowly turning on the marketing tap, resourcing it with the right people. The people now, training the people we have in place so that they can move up the ladder and then put people underneath them. And that's working well. Every Friday we have, it's called training day. It's a bit of it's a at the end of the week, when, everyone's pretty exhausted, and come 4 o'clock, you're not really interested in doing much more work anyway. So, we sort of break open a cup of tea, a glass of wine, whatever it might be. And then we focus on, Division 7A, whatever the training might be at the time, PSI income. So, and then we'll have and I like what Christy said about having a learning plan for your staff. So every staff member now is like a client. They have a schedule of learning and tasks within that. And then during the week, if they're uncertain about certain aspects of accounting or tax, they'll populate the task in their own learning plan. And then we'll review that on the Friday afternoon and have a look at how can we help them, evolve you so you can transition up the ladder, put someone underneath you as the firm grows. So yeah, it's an exciting process. So we're looking forward to 25, 26.
Well done, Peter. Well done. And that focus on the training and the marketing, well, the training part, it's so valuable because it allows you to really assess, oh, is this person the only person that can do this task in the firm? And that's often what we find stops us from being able to withdraw from the firm because they're the only one that can do it. And when they're sick, what do we do? Like, I have to jump back in. So excellent. I love, when we look at the capacity planner, and we're seeing this like 20% or something surplus in capacity, right? There is an assumption in there that, there is an assumption that you could pass any job to any person. Now, obviously, that's not realistic. We have to like assign work to the people that can do it. But it's not like the capacity planner is like broken up into like junior, intermediate, and senior, right? That there's this assumption that this number can be allocated in whichever way we wish. And it's one thing to build up spare capacity. It's also an additional factor to consider the resource mix, which is what you're doing. You're training the team. You're de-risking yourself from having one key person being able to do everything. And you're making your capacity a lot more flexible to use. For some firms, they might have 40% capacity, but then in order to actually utilize it, it feels like navigating through a maze. You can't give it to this person, they're full up. You got to go to this person. So well done systematizing your training. That's definitely going, that's something, like you're saying, a 5-year plan to, and it's good for the team as well so they can grow. What is your focus for marketing in the financial year? How do you plan to approach that?
There will be, so the marketing, we'll be engaging someone, a third-party consultant, whether it's Petrie. I think there are a few other accounting, few other marketing organizations that specialize for accountants. So it'll just be, we have a target client, sort of in the sweet spot of what we like to service. So we're putting the crosshairs on those clients, and we'll have a very specific marketing plan for them. And they're sort of a client that maybe sort of a revenue around somewhere between 15,000 to 90,000 sort of income for the year. So they do consume up a fair bit of resources at the higher end. But they're also good clients because we can help them. We can drive their businesses. We can really get involved and develop.
That's perfect. Getting that ideal client profile is actually 80% of the battle. A lot of people just dive straight into making social media posts and saying that's my focus. Having that profile to actually focus on is absolutely key. Well, thanks, Peter. Thanks for sharing that. Now, I know I'm kind of doing today back kind of the other way around where the breakout room comes in after, but we're in a new financial year and it's really important that you don't need to hear me lecture on about Wize, about the lifestyle scorecard or anything anymore. It's really about you and reflection in this clinic here today. So, and I will draw a pattern once we hear from you, Chris, and Simon. So Chris and Mina as well. So Chris,
I'm happy to go. That's all good. Yeah, I've been in Wize nearly a year now. It's gone so quick. I'm surprised it's been nearly a year. But when I first started, I was in a place where I felt like I was trying to please everyone and pleasing nobody with all my clients. That's how I felt. And I felt like all the responsibility was coming on me. Now, since I've started joining Wize and started getting things, it's opened my eyes to so many different things. Things are improving so much more around here. I feel so much less stressed. I've been delegating things left, right, centre to people and trying to empower people more, which has been a challenge. Don't get me wrong; it's been a really big challenge and it's had its own issues. But it's been it's really reduced my stress levels a lot, and things are thriving. I've had 2 record months in a row now of billing, which has been awesome. And I'm nowhere near as stressed. I've still got the same problems like when I first jumped on the call hearing about individual tax returns. I've always been one to go and visit clients, and people have my mobile number, so they're ringing me, and I feel like I'm taking the appointment. So I've already got a few appointments, which I type of things I need to stop doing. But there's a lot that usually see me that are going straight to employees now that I don't even know are calling in. So I guess that's easing my load a little bit too, which is good. But the small things like, obviously, I've just started doing team NPSs last quarter and doing surveys as a result of that. And I'm finding out so many more things that I never would have known that people don't bring up with me until they're doing these surveys. I think that's been pretty cool. And everyone seems a lot happier. It's been stressful the last couple of months, obviously, with having record months means people are a bit stressed. But yeah, I think we're getting there slowly. I don't know.
Awesome, Chris. Honestly, I love that. And what you said reminded me of when I asked Ed, when does this get easier? And he said, it doesn't. Like, it gets harder. You're trying to create a bigger thing, so it's obviously going to get harder. But you get better. Like you personally become more robust. I think where the real peace is, like what you said just there, the real peace is in never there's like never the possibility of pain anymore, or like setbacks or obstacles. It's not like that doesn't exist anymore. The real peace comes from the fact that you trust yourself to be able to handle it when it comes along, because you personally have the tool sets, the skill sets, the tools, the people around you. You know that you can actually take it on. And I know it sounds a little bit Buddhist. It's like, suffering's you can't get rid of it. It's just something you kind of accept, and you're able to deal with it. I see that in what you said, Chris.
Thank you.
So that's awesome. Thank you. That's really. I'm really happy to hear that. If there's less stress, some people run like a smaller thing and then they get stressed, and some people run a bigger thing and they don't get stressed, and vice versa. And just not, I guess, not putting yourself through that and having those skills and that mental mindset and that confidence that comes from the fact that you've practically seen yourself deal with those situations in the past, and that giving you peace, that has to be the greatest feeling ever. I see that in what you said, Chris. And I remember that feeling as well. At one point thinking, this is never gonna stop. Like, you're never gonna stop dealing with bullcrap. Like, it's not gonna end. But I can deal with it now. I can kind of like navigate this. In fact, we welcome it now. And now you're seeing it as growth in some ways. In fact, you kind of see glory in, wow, I'm encountering a problem I've never thought I'd get the chance to encounter before. It kind of feels like an honor to be here. Wow, I'm dealing with a general manager that can't do this. Well, at least I'm dealing with a general manager. Right? I think that's a really great mindset to have, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mina, would you like to share your highlight challenge of the last financial year that stopped you from withdrawing, and what are you aiming to do in this one to clear the way for you?
I think for last year, Thomas, so we are trying to follow the Wize sort of process to the T. So we've got some parts that we're doing really well. So exiting from production, exiting from administration, and predominantly most of the role now is in sales. So in my inbox, it's sales. That's what's in there. Okay, and if it's not sales, it's something that will be turned into a sale. So through that process. So the biggest thing that we've had is the building of the team not being fast enough to cater for that transition. I don't think we realized how fast that would change in the process. So we built out the second team, good intentions, and then the client manager resigned. So then that sort of throws you back into that sort of chaos mode. So what we're trying to do for 2026 financial year is more embed that client manager role. And the other infrastructure already exists in that second team. So there's already an assistant client manager, production manager, etc. So I think it's more keeping people for 2026. Not that we did anything intentionally wrong, Thomas. Sometimes you don't have to do anything wrong and you still end up with the same result. So that's what we're focusing on for 26.
Excellent. Staff retention is so important. In our industry, most of the recruiters, their work comes from public tax accounting practices. Commercial practices, commercial businesses don't really need recruiters in order to get qualified accountants to work for them. But in our public tax accounting space, it is difficult. It is honestly very difficult. And being able to retain people is absolutely key. And you're right, like sometimes you can do everything right and it just doesn't work out for them. And I think that's, it's really hard because we can't control what people feel and we can't control like their what they think is their own life's journey. The only thing we can really do is kind of do our best to see it coming, right? That's really the only thing that we can try to do. We can't change what they're thinking. We can only try better to see it coming, only so we could prepare. And then, so if you had to focus on trying to see it coming, what would you try to continue doing? Maybe you started it already, or start doing in this financial year to see it coming.
I'm not sure, Thomas, because we do the one-on-ones. We're a close-knit team, so you sort of work with them every day. And sometimes, or most of the time, to be honest, it's been like a blindside. You get blindsided. And then you sit there and you're like, when's the next email going to come through? And it's got a resignation letter attached to it, right? So I don't know what more we could do. And we'd be open to the feedback. We do a lot in the firm. Like, don't get me wrong, we do a lot in terms of trying to retain team members. And it seems to be that wherever they're going, when they do leave, it's like you almost don't think that's the right fit for them, but they don't see it that way. They see that that's their progression, etc. So no answers just yet.
Yeah, and you know what? I remember having a nightmare where I got this email from my team and they're like, "Screw you, I'm quitting." And then three-quarters of the office left, and I was like in a panic in my dream, and I woke up and I'm like,
Thomas, it's funny. Like, on the journey, first you have the nightmare or the dream that you wake up and you fire everybody, right? And that you've walked in, you fired everybody, and then you start to grow your team, and now it's the opposite. It's a nightmare that they've resigned, right?
it's the scariest feeling, man. Yeah, exactly. That's our biggest fear, and when you, I guess, again, like we can never stop people resigning. We can only kind of reduce the chances of it. And one person going probably is within the norm. It is within the norm, right? It's when you're constantly having people going, then it's clearly an issue. But you're having one person going because they've reached a senior client manager level and they want to explore something else. It's really hard. Once people start thinking about what it's like somewhere else, it's a very hard idea to get out of their head. It doesn't go away. You can talk to them all the time. You got a great future here. You're doing great here. You can be doing this and that. But they're just thinking, I wonder what it's like to be a financial manager for JB Hi-Fi. Like, I wonder what it's like. It's not like public tax accounting. I wonder what it's like there. And you just never get that idea out of their head. So, yeah, I guess it's really just something to keep on doing. Like you're probably doing the best from the sounds of it, you're already doing the best you can. I guess the only mistake we can make is to stop doing it because we're thinking, wow, I'm doing these one-on-ones and it's not working. Why even do it at all? And then more people resign and you're thinking, oh, it was really doing something. Well done, Mina. I think implementing those one-on-ones is absolutely key. So thank you. Simon, do you want to share your challenge for FY25 and what you're aiming to clear out of your way in this financial year.
Yeah, sure. I'm more in the startup and growth phase. So my challenge is really getting my systems and everything right so that I can manage the, make sure that I'm freeing up because of like my business, my client trajectory, like I'm getting a steady influx of clients. So the challenge is just keeping on top of onboarding, but also getting the work done. So, and then making sure the right tasks go out to the right staff. So yeah, it's delegation's the hard part, but also, the snowball of onboarding clients it's a good challenge, but it's a hard challenge. Yeah.
That's a huge one, right? Like you're in that startup phase, you're forced to wear so many different hats. And as you're growing and bringing on team members, you're able to start letting other people have a go at wearing certain hats until they wear it fully. And really, the only key focus here is just getting a very good mental model of the 7 divisions and the activities and delegation task in the Wize Hub. Like being able to like sort of track, all right, I'm doing this today, but I know that this is going to go very soon. And your growth that you have is a common pattern in startups. A lot of firms will go through this growth trajectory. And then what they will do is if they didn't get the like a good understanding of the team structure and start getting it in place, which you are putting priority, which is good for for this financial year, getting that processes down. Those who didn't focus on that, they end up turning off the tap. But turning off the tap as a startup is different to like turning off the tap for a larger business, because a larger business might just not resource a marketing team. Turning off the tap for a startup means going to the people who are referring you clients and telling them, look, I'm busy. I don't think I can handle anymore. And then getting that going again is a lot different to starting up your Facebook ads again, right? Or a marketing campaign. And so
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've got really good referrers, so I don't want to muck it up with, one client and then that ruins the whole referral channel. So I've got to be mindful. That's the challenge as well, getting the service delivery right so that because it's free, it's free marketing, it's the best thing, but you don't want to stuff it up as well. Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Excellent. Thank you, Simon. So before we move on, Aaron, Karen, Surindra, Peter, Mina, and Simon, Chris, thank you, for sharing all your challenges. The common thread that we can see through all of this is it's in the delegation, and you're already delegating, like getting an outside marketing company to come and give you advice, whether you're needing to hire people to delegate into. Honestly, that's pretty obvious, right? It's delegation. But to get more specific, the divisions I see here are people around Division 6, your operations. Yes, it's kind of it's intuitive that we need to hire more accountants as we grow. It's also intuitive that I'm getting so many client emails, so I need client managers as well. But those roles we know we need to hire, and at the same time they're not easy to come by. So then when you do end up hiring them, you really want to make sure that you're making the most of them. If I could pinpoint one division for all of us to go back to the Wize Vault and review, okay, and this is the second action item after doing your scorecard again, putting that into your calendar, I would go and review Division 6. Go into your Wize Hub and look at Division 6, like, you flip it around and you see the task, and then you go into your Wize Vault and look at it specifically and just see how much of what has been discussed today actually can be handled by a Division 6 person. Because suppose you did hire a client manager, suppose you did hire more production people. eventually your problems will become their problems. And then they will be telling you, I don't have enough time. Right? And it's strange, right? It's like I hired people, and isn't that supposed to give the company more space? It's true, you have more space, but now they have less time. Okay, so you're feeling, okay, well, I got my next problem now because I want to grow this team and I can't if they're saying they're so busy. Whether you're still starting up and growing, or whether you're onto your second or third team, whether you're growing quickly or slowly, review Division 6 and see, and really take a look at it. How much can actually go into that division? And it's all based on this phrase from Ed and Jamie. You want to build an extraordinary system that runs on ordinary people rather than an ordinary system that requires extraordinary people. And the easiest, honestly, the easiest way to get an extraordinary system is to have a solid operations team. I know we call it Division 6 administration, but really do not underestimate just how much they can do on the communication front. And even when it comes to the scheduling and the delegation of work, they can really do so much to drive a lot of that. And they become the glue. They're really the glue that makes everything work cohesively together, across multiple teams and even within individuals inside that team. Okay, so suppose you solve your FY26 goals. You have a great plan ahead of you for this year to tackle that. And you've done your scorecard. There is another exercise, the third action item. Revisit your lifestyle plan. Think about, and it was you, Peter, you said you had a 5-year plan. That is really great forward thinking. Think about reassess, what is your ideal income? You know, look at it through the lens of your problems having been solved and go, what income would I want then? And if you could take anything away from today, it's this. I noticed that a lot of firms tend to set low passive income targets because they're picking that number, they're calculating that number, and they're factoring in the pain that they're feeling today. They go, oh, I don't want much. I just, 200 grand a year, passive. I don't want to deal with any more than that. If you look at it through the lens of your pain going away, and you having the ability to deal with obstacles that come again to you and bigger ones, what would that number be? Okay, when you work out that number, then you can go work backwards to what your new revenue target for the firm would be. Okay, so suppose you're a $500,000 a year passive income, and that's not including the general manager's salary that you would receive. And at a 25% EBIT, that's a $2 million firm. Okay, you really want to go and note it down, that target. There's one more thing I'll say. There was a Stanford paper that said those who set goals are more likely to achieve them. We've all heard this, right? But there's actually a nuance to that. Those who set constraints are more likely to achieve them. You know, a lot of people like to talk about NASA and like, oh, they made it to the moon. They only had these resources, that resources. Their goal wasn't just to get to the moon. Their team had to deal with constraints. We only, to our known knowledge, this is what we're capable of. These are all the materials we have to use. This is the budget we have to work with. So once you've figured out your goals, then I want you to try this. Go into this financial year and think about your constraints and really define them. And I'll give you some examples. A constraint: I will not do production. It's just a constraint. The business will have to deal with it. Come whatever may, if it goes down, it goes up, but that is not happening. It is a constraint, okay? I'm not going to be doing admin. Somebody else would have to take control of this. That is a constraint. The client manager of my teams cannot be doing production work. That is a constraint. So when you focus on your constraints, they actually help you achieve your goals. Okay, they go together. All right, well, I know we're over time. So, okay, if you enjoyed today and you wanted to go one-on-one, meet with Jamie, here's the strategy core for a one-on-one mentoring session. And if you feel like you need a person to hire, like you want your team reviewed and you need assistance, please reach out to Danny. I can attest to them. They helped me hire a operations person recently, and she's a gun. I'm so happy about it. In fact, Wize Talent has helped me a lot in many areas. So please reach out to Danny to have a talk with her. And the next session will be on how top firm owners run smarter meetings and free up their time. Yeah, sorry for going over a little bit today. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your challenges. And well, I'll see you everyone. Take care. Have a good morning.